And 48 hours to go until the World Cup starts in Russia was to talk more about, well, the World Cup. However, big story breaking in Europe as Real Madrid confirmed that Julian Lopetegui will be their new coach. Just a reminder, this is a man who is currently in charge of the Spanish national team. He will take charge of Real Madrid after the World Cup. This is a man who hasn't got too much domestic experience. He was manager of Porto back in 2014 for a couple of seasons before he took the Spain job. Before that, he very much worked with the youth team in Spain. He would manage Real Madrid Castilla back in 2008-2009. That's their reserve team, if you like. He played for Madrid off and on, not renewing that much in 88 to 91. This really is a huge shock. Just put it into context. When you take a look at the odds for the next manager, 25, 26 names are on that list. Lopetegui wasn't on it.
Well, it just shows you what the bookies know.
But no one knew.
That's what a good job he's been doing for Spain, because he's turned Spain around.
He wasn't that good. He wasn't on the bookies list.
Yeah, but because they thought he would stay with Spain. And, you know, I think he did a very good job with the Spanish junior sides, under 19, under 21s. That's where he made his name. He didn't do quite so well at Porto because he was brought there to win the championship. He didn't win the championship. But since he's been the manager of Spain, I think he's turned their fortunes around. They look a much better side. He's sort of blended the old Spain of keeping the ball with more penetration. So I think he's done a good job, but I was surprised that he was the Real Madrid manager.
Everyone's surprised. This is completely out of left field.
The timing could not be worse. We're 3 days away from the World Cup, and Spain is one of the favorites to win this tournament. And somehow, now the attention of Spain is divided because Julian Lopetegui has decided to take on Real Madrid. Look, call me old school. I don't know. But maybe your priority should be on the World Cup, which is about to start. Maybe you don't worry about Real Madrid. Maybe you tell Real Madrid, look, if you really want me, if you really want to have a conversation, let's do this after the tournament. Let me focus on what I have.
Is he not looking after himself a little? Say everything goes wrong in the tournament, then he's never going to have a chance to manage Real Madrid again. So surely he's just pretty much second-guessing himself.
That's on Lopetegui. I'm saying from the perspective of the outside looking in, I'm thinking, man, your focus should be on having your team prepare. What is the first phone call that Julian Lopetegui is making to his players? Who is the first players he's reaching out to for Real Madrid? That's Cristiano Ronaldo, isn't it? I mean, don't you want to know and have assurances that he's going to be in your team? Who does Spain play in the first game? It's Portugal. So, honestly, the timing is all wrong, and it's unacceptable, to be quite honest with you. The way I look at it is you focus on the team that you have in hand. You focus on the tournament that you have in front of you. You focus on the players that you have in your locker room. To be looking out for himself after the tournament, so be it. But right now, 3 days before the World Cup, the biggest tournament in the World Cup, the biggest event in soccer and football across the world, come on, man.
The reports in Spain suggested that the Real Madrid players in the Spanish camp knew, and then someone else found out, so then he had to come public and tell everybody before all the rumours and everything.
I don't care. Don't bore me with how the story got out.
OK, well, that's never stopped me before.
I'm with Ali here, 100%. I don't care what he does at Real Madrid down the line. We're going to focus on the World Cup, right? And here's you've got a guy who is managing a side capable of winning the World Cup, but it's a difficult 5 weeks because you've got to manage a lot of problems, a lot of players, a lot of egos. You've got the tactics, the press, the media, the training. You've got everything to deal with, right? And I guarantee, what's he going to be doing? He's going to be half World Cup and half phoning agents, trying to talk to players.
No, Sean. Well,
are you telling me?
That's presumptuous, isn't it?
Are you telling?
Why can't you just say,
right,
you telling this time I'm focusing on Spain?
Because people, and subconsciously, you cannot switch off. He will have one eye on what he needs to do at Real Madrid next year.
Really? Do you believe that?
It has worked in recent years.
100%.
It's worked in recent years. Antonio Conte knew he was going to Chelsea, but he did well for Italy. They played far better than everybody thought they were going to play. Louis van Gaal was going to be the manager of Manchester United, but the Dutch got to the semi-final and won the third place place.
They got lucky.
They may have got lucky, but it worked. I'm not saying it's the right thing. I agree with both of you, but it has worked before with Conte and...
Okay, look, I know that people can walk and chew gum at the same time, okay? Yeah. But we're not talking about just any tournament, and we're not talking about just any team. We're talking about...
one of the favourites.
Spain, and we're talking about Real Madrid. How you are able to juggle that, it's something that I don't think he should have put himself through, but more importantly, he should not be putting his players through, because you know what the conversation is going to be in Spain and the Spanish media? You know what every press conference, every question is going to be about?
And the players have now got an excuse as well. If they don't perform well, the manager wasn't focused.
And
There's the issue. The press, the manager wasn't focused. That's if we start losing games.
And
so that's the big problem.
He has exposed himself as well, because now you open a door that you didn't need to open. If Real Madrid was really interested in you, what is wrong with saying, hey, buddy, let's talk after the tournament?
Because it might all go wrong at the World Cup.
Well, he's got
Okay,
no confidence.
hold on a second. If that's the way that you're approaching the tournament, then it might all go wrong. That's it.
This is your one chance to manage Real Madrid. They come knocking.
Well,
He's coaching the Spanish national team. It doesn't get any bigger than that.
I'll tell you what, if he thinks he can't manage...
It obviously does.
If he thinks he's going to...
You?
No, for him. If the Spain job was so important, why would he turn down and rip up his contract that's got him in charge till 2020?
Did you not
Probably
hear me
3
when
times
I
the
say
money, that's
that
the reason.
I thought that the timing was all
No,
wrong?
you said that it's the biggest job. It's clearly not for him. It's clearly not the biggest job.
Money will also dictate it's not the biggest job, because Real Madrid will pay 3 times as much as probably Spain are paying him.
Okay, so are you defending the decision?
I'm not defending the
Are
decision.
you defending the decision?
I'm just saying
I'm
that's
saying
the
that you're
one reason
saying
he'd go.
it's the biggest job coaching Spain.
No.
For him, it clearly isn't.
3 days before the World Cup, yes, it's Spain. The Spain national team job, yes, is bigger than Real Madrid. Yes. 3 days before the World Cup, yes.
For him, clearly not.
If you're saying... Listen,
no, but
listen. If you're saying, oh, you had to take it now because if it all went wrong from at the World Cup with Spain, he wouldn't have got the Real Madrid job. If he thinks it was all going to go wrong for him with Spain and this multi-talented group of players, it's never going to work for him at Real Madrid.
Yep.
But what if they give him a contract? Now or never.
You can't
Now
manage
or
this
never
Spanish team to a good finish at the World Cup. Might not win it, but to a good World Cup. He's never going to manage and deal with all the pressures at Real Madrid.
I thought Spain were going to win the World Cup. That would change my mind.
Oh, don't start using that as
the
an excuse to
press.
get it wrong.
He's left himself open to an absolute smashing from the Spanish press. If it goes a bit wrong for Spain, he is going to get absolutely battered. And Robbo, I think it was that said it, the players will just say, well, things haven't been quite right behind the scenes. The training's not been right. All the excuses will come out.
There.
And
You
they'll
don't
point to
need
the
too many.
manager.
Players don't need too many excuses to start pulling the wool over people's eyes.
Anyway,
they'll blame somebody else for the
Good luck,
mistakes.
because he'll be getting battered next year anyway, because he's never out the microscope with Real Madrid.
He's a
anyway.
Real Madrid lover, isn't he? That's why he's saying it's a good.
Oh, that's why he was happy.
Said nothing.